here with another episode of Big Talk, and we're with Peter Elkhair.
Hi.
Peter is the founder of KYRO Lounge and also the founder of one of the latest tobacconists in Bahrain called Fume, which is one of the things we're going to be talking to him about and finding out his success story, how he did it, the obstacles that he's facing or he has faced, and what things we can learn from his experiences. So on that note, how are you, Peter?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
First thing I wanted to ask you is, first of all, in order for the people viewing this, they need to know who you are.
So just a bit about me. I was born and raised here in Bahrain. I did my high school here and then I went to Australia. I did my university there and then I eventually came back to work in Bahrain and to be closer to my family. So when I first came back here, it was a funny story actually. My father lives in a building, Bin Faqih building to be exact. And I went to pay a bill and I met the manager there and he sat down with me and I told him, we got talking and I gave him a few ideas and he liked me and he offered me a job actually instantly on that day actually. He told me, when can you start? I was just graduated, so actually I had no job. So he hired me then and there. And I actually broke the record in the first 3 months with the target of the lease. Like I leased the most properties.
How long were you doing this for?
I was doing this for about a good year.
So that must give you some phenomenal experience when it comes to sales, because I mean, real estate sales is not that easy.
Yes, that's right. Especially in a tough market, it's not that easy at all. A lot of people, especially in the summer, and projects under construction, I was walking around in a suit in about 45-degree heat. So I had to take multiple showers a day.
And what happened? So that was about a year and a half you were there?
Yeah, it was about a year and a half. So I did that, and then I got an offer into a wealth management company. So as a relationship manager. And so it was again, look, sales, no matter what the field is, no matter what your job is, I know you know that very well, that it's a skill you carry everywhere you go. If you know how to be a good salesman and you know how to talk, then you can really do anything in life. So yeah, I got into wealth management. It was a great company I worked for. They sent me to New York for a month to get training and experience. I met really good people. I went to different companies and I sat with very smart people that gave me an insight to the market and how to deal with people. So I think I learned a lot, and the US is very good in mentoring people.
The company that was here that you were part of is the family business?
The family office.
Right, the family office. The family office, right.
So I was with the family office.
How long were you with them for?
I was there with them as well for a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's phenomenal. I mean, so you got experience in real estate.
Yes.
And then you got experience in investments.
Yeah.
Which is really the two key things when it comes to developing your skills in terms of making money in the world.
I mean,
plus sales in between them. You're developing your sales, because that's really what you're involved in sales.
Yeah, it's all really interconnected, because in real estate, most of the time you're managing people's money, right? So I'm dealing with the landlord, trying to give him the best alternative, whether he should sell or rent. It's similar with when I went to the wealth management company. You really need to have the best interest of the client and treat it as your own money. And I think that's what made me a bit different. I wasn't just, when a lot of these smart clients, they can tell when you're just being a salesman, right? But to really stand out, you have to treat it like it's your own money. And what would you do in that certain situation?
So you got that experience, you got that knowledge. The sales, the real estate, the investments,
yes,
the core,
yeah,
and then you decided, of all things, to open up
actually,
a food and beverage hospitality.
Yeah.
I mean, which is I have to say, this is like the number one thing. That's the most difficult. Everybody wants to do this, but it's from experience. Even I've done it. It's very, very difficult, and the the probability of losing is very high.
Yeah.
But it's the number one thing people always opt to doing when it comes to startups or restarting up something. It's the food and beverage industry, which is, let's say restaurants and cafeterias and things like this. And that's what you decided to put all that knowledge and wealth and money into. So tell us, what's it called? KYRO?
KYRO Lounge and Restaurant.
Now, why is it called KYRO?
Well, originally I'm from Egypt.
Right.
And so I wanted something to really, first of all, I wanted one word. I wanted something that's easy, and I wanted something that would reflect good food and good shisha, and Egypt is known for that. So I wanted to really go back to my roots, but it's written in a modern way, as you know. It's not spelled like Cairo, Egypt, Cairo. You know, it's KYRO. So it's a modern way of spelling Cairo, but when you say it, it's the same as Egypt, Cairo. And really, like you said, it's just jumping in the deep end in the pool. It's either swim or sink, right?
No experience whatsoever.
No experience. I want to put this on record. I had zero experience. And, you know, I sat with a lot of friends that were in the industry, and they used to tell me, don't even think about it. Yeah. But I love a good challenge. And as you saw, from going from real estate, and even in wealth management, when I did it, you have to have good finance background. I didn't study finance, but I like to challenge myself. I like to always see, what am I capable of doing? So I came at a wrong time, meaning that I opened as soon as Corona started, the pandemic. So it was really tough. We made it through the pandemic, thankfully. And there's, you know, if you look online, there's all these statistics that in the first year, 80% close. The first 5 years, 60% close. So the stats are crazy. But I think, you know, when you put your passion to it and you sort of, you know, do your own thing and you have your own vision, it's work. People, they do it the wrong way, where they copy what's working in the market, you know. If it's a burger place, everyone opens a burger place. There's a frozen yogurt place, everyone opens a frozen yogurt place. So you need to, you know, stand out of the crowd. You know, you have to offer a good service. And I had, I'm not a chef too, you know, that's another of the big problems, you know. I don't cook myself. I can barely make a cheese sandwich. So the executive chef that I hired, he's a childhood friend, and you really need to have a circle of people you trust, because there's a lot of games in that industry. So he's executive chef, and he's actually studied in New York and experienced in New York. He worked for a lot of big restaurants in New York. So he has good experience. So we sat down, and he moved back to Bahrain. He's also Bahraini. So he is a Bahraini chef, and he had all these crazy ideas from America. And then I had to sort of calm him down and say, look, that's not what's going to work in the market. So we wanted affordable food, but the best quality. We are very much into giving good quality ingredients. You know, a lot of places, they literally sugarcoat the food. They put a lot of sauces with a lot of sugar, and they hide the quality of the ingredient. We strive in making sure that the quality is top notch. All our suppliers, we get the freshest ingredients. Everything is made fresh in the restaurant, which is why we spent a lot of money in the kitchen equipment to make sure that we can make everything from scratch. Nothing is coming ready-made, nothing is frozen. Everything is made in there, from the pasta to the dough to the pizzas to the burgers, everything.
What kind of cuisine is it? What do you what's the cuisine focus?
It's an international fusion. I mean, we have your burgers, your pasta, your pizzas, we have steak, we have shrimp, we have seafood. We have, basically, I thought of what menu people would like to have, a bit of everything. What are the best items people would like? So we took the best seller of everything, of what I've seen in the market, and I put it into one big menu. So that's how we went about it. So I sat down with the executive chef, we designed the menu, we did a lot of testing, I gained a lot of weight. So I was eating about 6-7 pastas a day. And then the pizza at night, he would come at 2 a.m. in the morning in the office and give me 6 pizzas to try on. We test different methods of cooking. So it's been quite a journey, but an enjoyable one.
So this is the food part. Now you serve all types of beverages as well.
Correct, yes. So we have a mixologist. We serve high-end cocktails and mocktails. Again, fresh ingredients, no sugary syrups. All high-end cocktails and mocktails. We also have premium shishas. So KYRO Lounge was the first restaurant and lounge and really outlet in Bahrain to take a gamble and bring premium shisha to Bahrain. Whether I was paying 500 fils for a shisha or 25 dinars for a shisha, you're getting the same product, you know, and that's what really pushed me. And when I was young, I used to always tell my friends, and they used to always laugh. I said, when I'm older, I'm going to open a nice shisha lounge. And that's what I did, right? So I opened the Shisha Lounge, and I started these new premium Shishas. At the beginning, you know, I was scared of what, you know, people would say. People would say, no, we don't like them. We prefer the traditional. So these Shishas are all glass, and it actually saved us through Corona.
Also,
Because people in Corona, if you notice in the beginning, they were scared to go smoke Shisha. Because the traditional Shishas, like Khalil Ma'moon Shishas, you can't clean them properly, right? The flavor sticks to it, bacteria and so on. So people were scared. They started using disposable hoses and so on. So we had 100% glass, laboratory grade glass Shishas. So I'm the distributor of Fumo, which is one of the first brands that I brought to Bahrain from the US. And it's all glass. And you clean it and you sanitize it with water, hot water. We put alcohol in it, we clean it. So it's very safe and clean.
so even the metal part is glass?
Glass, 100% glass.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's all glass, which we all clean it after each use. So a lot of the customers used to come to us during Corona. Keep in mind I did no marketing because obviously you can't promote Shisha and tobacco in Bahrain. So people start to talk about it. You know, Cairo has this weird Shisha, come check it out. So they used to smoke it, and then I used to educate them, you know, the Shisha is clean, that everything is safe, you don't have to worry about catching Corona or any kind of sickness or anything like that. So they used to smoke it and feel comfortable smoking it, and people used to come. And I can honestly tell you, once they smoke our Shishas, you can never go back.
Right.
You know, it's not even about that it's all glass, it's the technology behind it, right? We don't use any aluminium. And if you notice, a lot of the places that people get, like, the next day you feel like your throat,
Yes, yes.
that is mostly the aluminium and the charcoal, right? Because the charcoal, and you're inhaling the aluminium, and the charcoal, actually the dust is leaking through the aluminium to your tobacco, and that's what you're smoking. We use no aluminium. The charcoal doesn't even touch the tobacco.
It hovers on top?
It hovers on
the
top.
plate?
It just produces heat, enough heat to heat the tobacco, and you smoke it. So nothing leaks into your bowl, into your tobacco, and no dust, no nothing.
No, what would be the cost of that experience? What are you guys charging for?
So anywhere in Bahrain, usually it ranges from 3.5 to 3.8 dinars in any general Shisha cafe. We're charging 5.5, which is I believe is a fair price for what you're getting. I believe that we are the cheapest lounge that has Shisha for that price, because anything above, if you want to go to a lounge that serves alcohol and Shisha, you're paying not paying less than more than 8-9 dinar.
Right, usually in hotels.
Yes, hotels, even some single establishments, single outlets, they're over 8-9 dinars.
Right.
Our neighboring places are offering 12-13 dinars.
And even their tobacco or their Shisha is not the same caliber as yours.
Yes, that's correct.
So you really are paying for the environment or the piece of real estate that you're sitting on.
Correct. I mean, it's not just the ambience that we offer. KYRO Lounge is beautifully decorated. It's relaxing. The atmosphere is nice.
How many floors do you have?
It's 3 floors. And basically what I've done is really try to cater to everyone. So each floor has a different atmosphere. So someone that just wants to chill and have tea and Shisha, you have the ground floor for that. Level 1 is a bit more of the partying floor, which the bar is located there. The DJ is there. The top floor is a terrace and like a private dining experience.
So it's open, part of it?
Yeah, the terrace is completely open. So during the winter season, you can enjoy sitting out there. We also have a front and back garden on the ground floor. So we have quite a large space for outdoor use.
And this is in the 338 area?
Yes, correct.
Atelier 338
yes,
area?
block 338.
Yeah.
So that's where we're located.
And how has business been so far?
Business is good, touch wood, can't complain. We have good regular customers and loyal customers, and we're always getting better. Every time the repeated customers come back, they tell us, wow. I'm always changing. You know, every time I go to the restaurant, I sit at one table and I look around and I think, I need to change this, I need to change that. And my manager hates me because I drive him crazy. Telling him, go get a contractor and shift that. There are restaurants that open and they say, you know what? we're not touching anything.
Right.
That's the way we open. That's the way I'm the opposite. I'm like you. I love cars.
I was gonna tell you that.
Yeah, I'm like you. So why I sold my sports car? Why?
Yeah.
Because it was draining me.
Yeah.
I can't sit and look at my sports car without doing it up.
Right.
So I said I need to buy a car that I'm not gonna customize. And instead of cars, now I'm doing restaurants.
So I had the similar experiences as well, because I started this Motrox Cafe back in 2004.
I remember. I was a loyal customer.
That's right, you were definitely a loyal customer. I remember you from then. You were a lot younger.
I was, yeah.
But just like you, I mean, I had the idea, had the business concept and everything, had the intentions, did everything. And every time I'd sit there, I'm like, this is wrong. This should be there. That should be different. And I used to drive my managers like they used to hate me. Yeah. They used to hate me coming over because they'd know that they used to be scared of serving me food, just in case I noticed it's a little bit different than what it was the day before.
Yeah.
So, but I learned a lot, and I learned now if I was to do this again, which I don't think I'll ever start another restaurant again, but if I was to do it again, I would do it differently. I would definitely simplify the menu because I had a very big menu, which I think you are having a bigger menu right now.
Yeah.
Now your place caters to it. As you said, you have 3 different floors.
Correct.
So you have different types of demographics of people as well.
Correct. Yeah.
And in doing so, you really do have to accommodate them.
Yes.
And by serving them certain types of beverages, certain types of shishas, and tobacco, and even food. Which is great, but it costs a lot of money to do that, as I'm sure you are experiencing.
And wastage, right?
Yeah.
So our chef is very good, the executive chef. Why I like him a lot is he manages the wastage. There's some ingredients that go off, so you have to manage them. Why sushi business is very costly as well is because the wastage, right? If you don't use it, you need to throw it after a few days. So that's why when there's a pandemic or the market's not that good, people are scared to go to sushi places because of food poisoning, how well they store it, is it fresh? Exactly. So how we manage it is very important, and having a good executive chef will save you a lot of money. He manages the waste very well, and out of the waste he makes a new dish. Right. So even the pieces you cut off of certain dishes, he reuses it. So he manages wastes very good, and I couldn't be more proud of him. And you really need to have a good team around you, and that's what I've learned from the F&B industry. And what kept me going is, you have to be mentally strong. I think people don't realize what it takes. I think during Corona, everyone said, you know what, let's get in the F&B, that's what's making money right now. Talabat, I mean, don't quote me, but from what I heard, we're making 50,000 transactions a day. Food. So everyone got into food. And that's not always the case. People think, let's open a place and put on Talabat. My food is not a Talabat type food because it's high end and you're paying mostly for the ambience, but the quality is there, but it's too expensive. People that kind of pay that kind of money, they want to sit, the service, the ambience. You really need to know what moves on these platforms. True. So we were not a Talabat type outlet, and like I said, the Shisha is what saved us. And the Shisha brought customers, and then the customers tried our food, our beverages, and they saw it's a complete place. Because when you go to a lounge, that you automatically think the food's probably not that good.
Right.
Right. So people used to come to our place, have a drink, and say, let's try the food. They try the food, and they're thinking, wow, this is unbelievable.
Usually when you go to a lounge, you go because it's a lounge, and they have some nice lounge music and lounge seating and some really nice cocktails.
Correct.
Food is not the reason that you're going to there.
No.
And usually you go to a nice restaurant.
Correct.
You go there because the food is good. Maybe the seating is not that good in the ambience, but you do know that you're going to get
eat and leave.
Eat and leave.
Yes.
You've basically combined the two. Now, when it comes to the shisha, you told us about the actual contraption, the actual glass shisha, but also you differentiated yourself more than everybody else in Bahrain, not just in terms of the actual contraption, but in the actual tobacco as well.
Correct.
So you made a point of sourcing different types of tobacco, high-end premium tobacco from all parts of the world.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So basically, I have 2 brands of tobacco. I have the Fume, which is from the US, and I have Ottoman Blend, which is from Turkey. Both of them are premium tobacco. and one of them is a bit more expensive than the other. So the Fumari is a bit on the pricey side, but you're paying for quality. It's premium tobacco. Anyone knows from California, it's top notch. The Turkish tobacco is very good, and we offer flavors that are not in the market. You know, we have like blueberry muffin, mint and chocolate. So we have flavors that are not here and available in the market, and it's more premium. It tastes even better. It lasts longer. It's a juicier taste, bigger clouds, as they say, the smoke. So I really, and going on to your other point is the shop that I opened right in Jafar Square.
This is going to be my next
Yes.
question. Now, what have you done? What have you made it? Now that you've had access and relationship with these premium brands?
Yes.
And they really are premium.
They are.
What have you done to capitalize on that relationship?
So basically, I'll go back a bit and then I'll jump to that
Right.
to the shop I opened in Jafar Square. So even before KYRO, what I did was I ordered all the products in the world. And when I tell you all the products in the world, all the products in the world. I ordered everything available in the international market.
Asal.
Yes,
Right.
tobacco and the shisha itself. So the equipment, the accessories, tried everything. It took a long time and a lot of money, but it had to be done. It was, research and development. So I smoked everything. I tried all the products. I tried everything. And then I brought it to the top 10 companies that I wanted to work with. And then I made, back to my old job, which is relationship, which helped me a lot. So I contacted all of them. I had Zoom calls with them. I told them about the market. I told them about the vision. And they wanted to invest in me and they liked working with me. And I think they had told me there are many people that approached us before you, but we like dealing with you. And I think they were very cautious about dealing with certain people. So they liked me and we got along very well, and they agreed with the vision that I wanted to do and establish here in the Kingdom of Bahrain. So I used some of them in Cairo because Bahrain's a tough market, meaning that I couldn't just have a warehouse and start wholesaling it. I really wanted the clients and customers in Bahrain to try it before you buy it.
It's high end. It's not
Exactly.
wholesale. It's not a wholesale thing. So definitely what you're doing is, in my opinion, definitely the best move.
So I used KYRO to showcase.
Right.
So KYRO is my showcase place. So it's showing all what we offer. And then if you want to buy it, you go then to Jafar Square, which is our shop, Fume.
But they can try it in Cairo. You actually serve that same
Correct.
tobacco,
Yes.
shisha tobacco in Cairo. So
Yes.
they get to see it, they get to taste it, the different flavors that you have.
Yes.
And if they're interested in the actual tobacco, you actually can sell them to the actual tobacco as well from your now newly formed and newly
Yes.
opened up.
Fume, yes. So we've been open, just under 2 to 3 months.
Okay.
So it's fairly...
Where is it?
It's in Jafar Square.
Okay. I gotta tell you, this is crazy because there's so many alarm bells going on over here. First of all, not many people are doing opening up tobacco stores and shisha stores. With the vape thing coming on and the anti-smoking thing going all over the world. So that's a pretty
Bold move.
I
Yeah,
was
it
going to use a
was.
different word, but I'm glad you said that word.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
bold move, number one. Number two, you're doing it at a time when things are barely getting back, and not just in Bahrain, but overall everywhere in the world. I mean, things are just starting to get back, and so this wouldn't be the first thing that somebody would be thinking about. And number three, it's one of the most difficult licenses and things to get and manage. It's not an easy thing. So it's like you haven't had enough headache from KYRO setting up cars. Like, how much more headache can I get? How much more stress can I be in? Let me do that.
Yeah, I aged and I used to be better looking, as you know, a long time ago. So this did age me. A lot of sleepless nights. But it's been, a lot of people see the finished product, but they don't know what goes into it, right? So a lot of people think it's easy. I want to be an entrepreneur, make my own hours. They see on TikTok all that big money and, and that is what drove me to be an entrepreneur. But there's a lot that goes alongside with it. It's not easy. It's quite tough. You have to be committed, you have to have persistence, and you have to believe in yourself, because I had so many people tell me you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. So you have to always believe in yourself, and you have to have strong mental will, because it will, there are some mornings I wake up and I just say, what am I doing? Like you're saying, it's a tough market, with what's going on in the world now, and the current market situation. But yeah, it took us 4 years, to answer your question, 4 years to get the tobacco approved. So however way you want to take that, you can. But it is a long journey, like I said. It was a learning journey. I mean, look, I graduated from university. Throwing yourself in the deep end of the pool, it really speeds the process of the learning. Your learning curve just goes up, I couldn't have, like these 4 years that I've been doing this, or 5 years, I could sit with a smart guy or an entrepreneur, a guy that has multiple businesses, and he could mentor me. I wouldn't know 10% what I know now, so it's really, it fast tracks you, and you grow as a person. And
there's definitely no replacement for doing things hands-on. I mean, I agree with you 100%. I mentor a lot of people. I help them out with whatever it is that they need helping. But at the end of the day, if they're not actually physically doing this and facing that problem, facing that rejection, facing the compliments, facing all the issues, whatever I tell them, whatever I mentor them, whatever I give them to read is not going to help.
Correct.
You really have to immerse yourself in that environment.
All these people that sit there and they tell them their journey, look, I can sit here and tell you my journey, but everyone has their own journey. Even if I were to tell you, God blesses me with a lot of money and a lot of success, even if I were to tell you how I did it, you couldn't do it, I believe everyone has their own journey, and everyone, and you need to know your limitations, because this, entrepreneurship journey, it can destroy a person. If you fail, the bounce back is really hard, so going back to that lifestyle of working for someone else after you've tried to do it on your own, it crushes someone's,
Yes,
it
does.
So really, it's really tough.
Speaking of mentorship, your father, he's a consultant?
Correct, yes. So first of all, none of this, I want to say, could be, everything I've done is not doable without my father, because
your father's, can we have his name?
yes, John Elkhair.
Okay, and what is dad's
He's a financial advisor, so he's a consultant. He worked for JP Morgan Chase. He came to Bahrain a long time ago, 30 plus years he's been in Bahrain. So he worked in a lot of big companies. He was the managing director of a lot of big banks in Bahrain, and he really is my mentor. And not just that, he believed in me. I had no experience, right? I told you I was in real estate for a year, wealth management in a year, and then I came to him with this idea. And as you said, it's not cheap, right, to set up what I set up. I mean, I started slow, considering what someone else would have jumped into this field. I started with less capital than other people, but I did it gradually. But even the startup expense, my father believed in me and invested. Times where I didn't believe in myself, and he still believed in myself. And I don't know if I was, if the roles were changed and I was a father and my kid came up to me, I don't know if I'd give him that much money, In all honesty, I'll find out one day. But he believed in me, and he is the best mentor out there, and he is just a great person, and not just because he's my father, but he's really supported me and been there for me.
And his wealth of knowledge that he's gained through all those years of managing, mentoring, starting all these types of financial organizations, I'm sure that came in extremely handy when it came to
he's a
managing
guru.
money.
Yeah, he's a guru. I mean, with this kind of stuff and this field, he can really help you, and he's really good at structuring. And like all companies, if you don't have a good base or a good structure, your company falls apart without a system, without a process. So as you grow, you really need to put systems in place. And that's where his experience comes in, right? He understands that. And he understands what it takes to grow to these big companies that you see internationally. what you have to do to be on that kind of stage.
Give us an example of something that your dad told you that you really used and worked and it turned to your advantage.
You have to have the right people around you. You pay bananas, you get monkeys. Although times you try to cut costs, he tells me you have to have the right people. And, you know, he always tells me about mental health and keeping fit. He says it's all interconnected. I mean, sometimes I get so busy, you know, I don't go to the gym as much, I'm not as active. He always used to tell me, you know, workout, it really will help you through stress, and it really did. He advised me how to set up certain things in the company without going into too much details, but having the right people, how to manage certain situations. You know, as the market goes up and down, he can read the market. He's very good at anticipating what's coming next in the market. You know, he's just so, his experience and the level of knowledge that he has is unbelievable. I mean, one day when you get to sit down with him, you'll see what I'm talking about. But he is...
We'll bring him here.
You should bring him here. You trust me, he would...
Elkhair Senior.
Yes, Elkhair Senior and Junior is talking to you, but he will give you knowledge you've never seen before. Right. I mean,
definitely.
He reads a lot. Yeah. Something that's funny is I hate reading, but you have to do what you have to do. He loves to read, and he's worked with big companies, so he's seen how to structure your company in an international standard, and that's what helps. When you work for these big international companies, you see that kind of standard. You know.
Has he opened up a business himself? I mean, I know he has his own consulting company,
yes,
which is, of course, a business in itself, yes. Of course.
So he's on the board of certain companies, and on top of that, he invests in companies. Okay. So he's very good at doing due diligence, and he gets all these proposals of companies, angel, seed, whatever you want to call it. They come up to him, they approach him, he sits down, does his due diligence, and he invests. He has a real estate portfolio internationally. Companies in Dubai starting off, he invests in them. He has a few companies that he's on the board for, and you know, he guides them. He likes mentoring and he likes guiding, and I think it's not just about the income or the return on investment, why he invests in these companies. He likes to learn about all these industries, because when you invest in these companies, it fast tracks you into that industry, right? It gives you knowledge about that field, about that industry. So he enjoys it. He honestly enjoys it. I don't think he'll ever retire. He's now, touch wood, 67 years old.
Right.
I hope young. 100 years ahead of him. He will never stop. I don't think he could sit at home. He enjoys it.
Now, is this something you might eventually get involved in, the consulting business? I mean, given...
Well, there's one company you didn't speak that we do have as well, which is Elkhair Sons.
Right.
So it is a consultancy, okay. But it's an F&B only industry. My father does financial and investing and all these kind. I'm only doing consulting in the F&B. Right. So we can do menu creation, we help with doing the beverage menu, and we do Shisha management. So there's hotels that come to us, and even single outlets that want us to manage their Shisha department. So they don't have the funds to buy these premium Shishas, so we do a revenue share structure with them, that we bring in the Shishas and we serve the Shisha, and it's just a revenue share at the end of the month.
Actually, that's very clever.
Yeah, we bring in our staff, our tobacco, our charcoal, and we set it up for them, purely from us.
So the equipment, the products, the ingredients, and as well as the experience, which is the staff, is all from you guys.
All from me.
So the establishment really relies on you to handle A to Z from
Correct.
when it comes to that place. So if it's not working out, it's your fault. It's
Correct.
not working. It's not
Correct.
really establishments, because they kind of give you the green light to go do what you need to do in order to make. And that's pretty. Actually, that's pretty good. I haven't really seen something like this. I mean, I've seen people sublease, and some people like open up, like their brand in some other event or something, but not to the extent of actually you.
We do events. We do private events. There are people that want Shisha at a house party. We even bring our Shishas with a staff member, and they do the full service for the night. We have hotels that we have month to month with, that we set up all the Shishas, and we bring up everything, the staff, the tobacco, the accessories, and we just serve it.
Going back to the business environment, I mean, you've gained so much experience doing what you're doing in this past 4 or 5 years. I think what you've learned in 4 or 5 years is more than you've learned your whole education life.
100%.
In universities and colleges.
My father could have saved a lot of money.
Yes, he would. He could have. Yes. So,
I hope he's not watching, because he'll hate me for that.
So is my father. God bless his soul. But so is my father. Would have saved a lot of money. But So, in your opinion, I'm asking you this because you do have the experience. The business environment in Bahrain.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about it? How would you advise somebody who wants to start up a business? What are some of the obstacles that they might encounter, which obviously you encountered, and you know that don't give up. This is normal. Having something taking a couple of years to get it approved is normal. So factor this in. I mean, give us some idea, especially when it comes to the industry that you're in, which is the F&B and the.
There's a lot of obstacles. Obviously, time is one of them, and capital. So whatever you're budgeting, always give a bit of leeway, because you know you have to make up for that black month or that black day. Certain fees that you didn't know exist. So you need to really. They say always add 25% above whatever you're budgeting as that cushion. Licensing procedures, approvals, understand what activities you need for that CR, and really know what procedures you need to go through and documentation. Understand that location, if you're opening a restaurant, what clients there and what they're looking for, and just have the right team around you. It is a lengthy process, and it is a profitable business, but it does take time and effort. Don't just put a manager there. I see a lot of businesses, they do the wrong thing. They open a business, they put a manager there, and they rely purely on that manager. I haven't had a day off since I've opened the business. I haven't left Bahrain in 6 years. You know, just to sum it up for you. I haven't had one day off. I haven't traveled, left Bahrain in 6 years. So it takes a lot of effort, and your brain never switches off. Once you get in this field, your brain never switches off. Every month you cover your expenses, your overheads. You start the next month in debt. You know what I mean? You have expenses. All right, next month, now we need to cover this expense. Next month, it's a never-ending thing, right? And you have to always adapt. This market is one of the toughest markets to crack.
I think so.
And a lot of people that came from outside said it. It is a tough market. A lot of the restaurants around me, they came with this concept. French, Italian, house music, you know. They all changed it. You know, whatever the concept was, whatever the name of the lounge was, whatever the name of the restaurant was, whatever it was, they changed it very quick. The ones that didn't adapt, shut down. And you drive around Adliya now, 50% of outlets are closed.
Wow.
Yeah. It's not easy. So people used to think just do food, do shisha, open in Adliya, you're gonna make money. Not the case.
No.
So if you're thinking about, you know, opening in this location and you're guaranteed income, think again. And it takes a lot of money. You know, I wouldn't advise people to take shell and core, first of all. Taking an outlet that's shell and core is a lot of work, a lot of approvals. I would advise them to take a place that already has existing electricity. You're just transferring the line, because there's a lot of procedures that come from it and a lot of inspections.
Of course, that delay is money.
That's money, because you get a grace period, right?
Right.
So your grace period, if the standard is 3 months, if it's a big place, 6 months, say, people think that's a lot of time. But when you get down to it, it's not a lot of time, you know. It takes a lot of work. There's a lot of problems with contractors here sometimes. They delay work. There's a shortage of material. They're waiting on coming. And even once the contractor hand over, I don't think people understand the work that goes in after the contractor handover till you actually open to the public. You know, people think, oh, the contractor's done, next day we open. No, you have to do testing. You know, like with our kitchen, we couldn't operate, and I used to tell the contractor, finish the kitchen first so I can have time to design the menu. You know, so start with the kitchen, finish the kitchen, and then start working on the decorations and interior fit out and all that stuff. Let us worry about the kitchen, do the menu. Same as the bar, finish the bar first. Let's test the service.
Now, some of these experiences and hiccups and things that you went through, do you think this is like people that in Bahrain are facing, or this is pretty much anywhere that people start up a business, be it in Saudi or be it in Dubai? I mean, how?
No, a lot of the problems.
First of all, do you have you done anything in
No.
anywhere else other than Bahrain?
No, I haven't. I mean, I worked for similar industries in Australia where I studied, but I never owned. a business outside of Bahrain. So everyone faces similar problems, I would say. I mean, some places it's a lot easier to do business. Some places the market is better. Luck, I guess, plays a role too. Timing. A lot of factors go into your journey, right? Because like I said, everyone's journey is different. Tomorrow you can do the same thing I'm doing, and your journey, if we sit down and talk, it could be a lot different, right? So it really just depends on a lot of different factors. What I experienced, the basics everyone will go through, but the in-depth and the details of it differs 100%.
What do you think of the entrepreneur environment here in Bahrain? I think Tamkeen is just a phenomenal thing that we have in Bahrain, that every time I tell anybody from outside Bahrain about Tamkeen, they don't understand. They're like, what do you mean? The government gives you money. They don't understand. Yeah. They usually think it's like some kind of a loan that you have to pay back. They just don't understand that the government will be able to help you.
Yeah, they fund them.
At least half of the money for certain areas of your business, some of the most important areas of your business. So I think just having that here just makes people who are a little bit doubtful, a little bit scared, they don't have the right mentorship or the right maybe funding to do something but Tamkeen being there, that gives them that edge to take that risk. And actually, if I want to sum up entrepreneurship, it's just risk. That's it.
100%.
It's risk. Your tolerance of risk versus my tolerance of risk. How long you're willing to risk what you have, be it your time, be it your money.
Yeah.
And Tamkeen helps with that. But aside from Tamkeen, which I think is phenomenal, what do you think the entrepreneurship environment, and what are the challenges do you think that we're facing here in Bahrain when it comes to some of the challenges? I mean, the obvious thing, again, I'm kind of answering the question myself, but the obvious thing is that we're a very tiny market.
Correct.
So, if I was to go open up the same shop that you're opening up, the same thing, I'm going to be not increasing the market. I'm going to be taking some of your clientele.
Taking my cake.
Taking a piece of your cake. And it's not like I can go to, say, Askar and open up a branch over there, because really our whole the whole economy is based kind of like around Manama.
Yeah, correct.
So unlike some of the neighboring countries where they have different regions and different areas, and they can really expand and grow. Like, how would KYRO grow?
Well, KYRO would grow to basically anyone's dream to have that kind of in the F&B industry is to franchise it, right? So hopefully into Saudi, into the UAE, to neighboring countries. We had a few people approach us, but it really goes down to partnering with the right people. I mean, I'm very paranoid. Like I said, I'm only partnered with my father, and he's a silent partner. Of course, he advises and all of that, but he's really left me to do most of the decisions. And so partnering is very important to me, because they can destroy a concept, right? This is my baby. I made it from scratch, and I wanted to only see it grow, right? So you don't want to partner with the wrong person, and they have the wrong vision, they have the wrong input, and it's always good to go. If you know what you want out of the company and you want to lower the risk, okay, go get a silent partner and get funding for it. That will lower your risk, and it will be able to let you grow tremendously. Because instead of saving slowly and doing it, this silent partner will come in and you'll accelerate. Like if my father didn't invest in me, I would have done KYRO but at a smaller scale, right? Something that I can save for, something that's affordable. I'd have go get a loan from the bank, Tamkeen support. I'd have taken all kinds of different paths, but my father allowed me to accelerate. He invested in me an amount that I couldn't invest on my own. And he really made me be able to do what I wanted to do. And my father is smart with that way, he's saying that you're managing that, you handle that, the decisions are yours, and that's a good thing, but it's also everything is on me. If anything goes wrong, I have to explain myself. Right. So that's the difference. What I would like to see doing better, I mean, look, Bahrain has a lot of smart people. I want to start off by saying I love Bahrain. I couldn't live in any other country. Honestly, I mean, I've lived in Australia. Australia is beautiful, but I don't think I can live in any other country but Bahrain, and I love it here. And it's been good to me, and it taught me a lot, I think Bahrain is a beautiful stepping ground of training you because of the people we know, and it's a small market. You can really test yourself. instead of throwing yourself in such a huge market, you get lost. You know, so I think without stepping on anyone's, feet, but processes, I mean, just to outline, if you want to do this kind of business in Bahrain, this is the procedure you need to do. You need to have this kind of documentation to really simplify it. They should have campaigns to really guide these young entrepreneurs, because I didn't have that guidance. It's sort of just running around learning on my own, which I lost a lot of time doing, right? So I think if they really outline different procedures for different industries and activities, it would encourage people and gain investors to want to trust investing, and I think that would help a lot, and it would really attract a lot of expat investors here, because they know the procedures. It would also take a lot of clearing agents, and it would help a lot.
3 things that are essential, in your opinion, to being an entrepreneur, given the knowledge and experience that you've now gained.
Yes.
3 things. Name 3 things that you think are really important to have in order to do the journey that you did.
3 things. I can name you about 20, but if I had to narrow it down to 20, if I had to narrow it down to 3 things, I told you mental health, I would have to say is number 1. How much can you take?
Right.
Because there are times in your journey where you'll give up.
Oh, yes.
And you're about 1% away from that success.
Right.
You're digging, and then you give up, you back out, and done. Okay. And persistence and consistency.
Right.
I think, and obviously commitment, and
right.
the list goes on, but really those are the top.
Yeah.
Without those, you cannot. Self-belief. I wake up every day saying I can do this. I have a vision and plan. I know what I want to do. I know what I can do. I can do it. And you really need to think you're the best, because if I'm not the best in this industry or in this field, then you're never going to succeed. Yeah. You're going to see competitors opening this and you think, I can't compete with them. They're too good. They have millions in their account. They have capital. I can't compete with these giants. But if you believe in yourself, and you have a vision, and you care about the clients, and you're not just treating it as a business, because money's going to come, right? If you're passionate, it will come. But I also want to tell you something. People say do what you do what you're passionate about, but passion doesn't pay bills.
I know.
I love cars. I'm not going to go open a garage, so it doesn't pay the bills. I am passionate. I love Shisha. I mean, I don't drink, but I love Shisha, and I also wanted to give something that I saw that there was a gap in the market.
Now, I agree with you when it comes to the passion, but do you actually know, I've come to figure that out myself. It's not like I read a book or something, but you know why they tell you that always, be passionate about what you want to do, open up a business that you're passionate about. Yeah. I've come to understand the hidden meanings to this. Yeah. It's because when you open up a business, you're going to encounter so much obstacles in your life, so much headache in your life. Correct. That if you're not passionate about it, you're going to give up. Yes. Something has to keep you going in order to pursue that idea, that business idea that you have. And that's when that passion kicks in. Correct. Because that's really what you need passion.
It's your fuel.
It's not really the thing that's going to make you successful. It's not like, if you have a passion, you're going to succeed. No. The passion is needed when the obstacles start hitting you. Yeah. And everything starts telling you stop. But in your back of your head said, but I like it. And that's what's making you continue. So that's, in my opinion, how important passion is. And that's I've done what you've done since I was, I want to say 19. I've done what you've done, and I'm not 19 anymore. Yeah. You still look it. I look younger. Actually, yeah. And
you've aged well, like fine wine.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you. We have to have you again over here.
Yeah. Boost your confidence,
That's right. But this is my understanding of the when it comes to passion, because they don't tell you that you're gonna have so many obstacles. And I'm not talking about just from your friends or your customers, which depending on what business you're in.
Yeah, you can't please everyone is what I learned too.
You can't please everybody. You're gonna have it from regulations. Yep. From governmental entities, from rules and laws that change. Yeah. I mean, something that you have right now, it's okay, you're okay, I'm going with that. And then the next day, the rule changed or the law changed. And but so one of the ways I've come to understand or come to accept in my mind, and which is what pushes me to always continuously opening up businesses, because I just love opening up businesses.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, I understand what your dad does, and I understand the passion that he has. I'm the person who's actually opening up those businesses. Sometimes I'm investing in them, but I also love opening them. But is that you're always going to be facing with obstacles. You're always going to be facing with problems continuously.
Yeah.
If you don't have the heart or the strength and the risk tolerance to accept these continuous obstacles that are going to come to you, even when you're making money, even when you're succeeding, they're always going to be there. Then maybe entrepreneurship isn't really for everybody.
100%.
Because this is what I've seen now with this modern age, and not just in Bahrain. I'm talking all over the world. Everybody's seeing this, starting up a business. And in Bahrain, we make it very easy for everybody.
Correct.
But I would like to know how many of those startup businesses are no longer there.
Yeah.
Because those are the stories that we need. I mean, I don't know if we need to tell those stories, but we need to learn from those stories.
100%.
We do need to learn from the stories, and they're really, really important. But one of the things I have in my head that I always see, because you're always facing obstacles, is that whenever I face an obstacle, I always try to look at the positive side of it. In every problem that you face, there's always a positive in it somewhere. It's not big, it's not huge, but you can see there's a little positive something that maybe you can redo it. They come and tell you you can't use the name KYRO anymore.
Yeah.
That's devastating. You've invested so much money in that name.
Yeah.
Not that they have, but I'm just saying. But at the end of the day, like, well, I could restart that name. I can choose a different name. Or they come and tell you that you can't have those type of tobacco anymore, because those type of tobacco, we don't want them in here, or they didn't get approval.
Yeah.
It makes you think, okay, so the other ones that I have are not enough. Maybe I should find another supplier or another distributor or another brand. There's always going to be, concentrate on the positives.
Yeah. There's positives and negatives too, 100%.
In every negative, there's going to be a positive.
Everything happens for a reason too.
Yes.
I believe that everything does happen for a reason. I've had situations you think, oh my God, this is the worst, and then something good comes out of it.
Yeah.
So, and like you said, I think what you're trying to summarize is being a leader. Because when you're an entrepreneur, and we have 50 plus staff under me, I'm responsible for those people's lives.
Right.
I'm paying their salaries. I need to make sure each month they're all getting their salaries. They have a family to feed. They have expenses of their own. So you have to lead. And again, to your point, is staying calm. When a problem happens, I think a good leader stays calm. Because when you stay calm, you can think better, and you can think of that solution. It's like pilots, right? When they're trained to, when all hell is breaking loose in the cockpit, they stay calm. Right. They try to find a solution. If they freak out, we're dead. Right. So they are trained to stay calm at the worst life or death situation. I mean, I hope we don't even get to that ever, but yeah, these are the characteristics, I think you'd say, of an entrepreneur. And
what advice would you give somebody who's listening to you, a young girl or a young boy, or actually anybody of any age that are interested in starting up their own business, and mind you, leaving the current thing that they have? So they're not somebody like 18, 19-year-olds starting up in life. They're somebody who's actually already involved in some kind of a position in some kind of company. What would you advise them when they're thinking about, shall I do this? Because Peter just, what he said ruined me, and I don't want to do anything that he said. So
I just want to get this on record. I'm not trying to, turn people off, from being an entrepreneur. It's a great journey, and like I said, what I would advise them is believe in yourself, because I believed in myself, and I did something that people told me not to do, and I think I am, successful in what I do. So you have to believe in yourself, and secondly, while you're young, you can take that risk, because tomorrow, God forbid, I'm 33 years old. If I was in my 20s, even early 30s, by the way, considered young, you can take that risk. I don't have a family. Tomorrow, God forbid, I go bankrupt, or I took 5-10 years to take a risk and put all my funds and capital into setting up a business. God forbid, if it were to go wrong, I don't have to worry about my kids not going to school, no food on the table, house rent, getting evicted, mortgages. You can take that risk. So as you get older, the chance of you taking such risk goes down, because it's not just your mouth you're feeding, it's your family's mouth. So I believe that if I was going to do it, I need to do it right now. What's the worst that's going to happen? I'm going to be 33 looking for a job. You know, I'm going to go back to that lifestyle. But I've learned so much that even what I've learned, I can get a salary for. You know what I mean? So the experience that I've gone through, I can go work for someone else and they would pay me for that experience. So it's not like I'm starting again at a low salary and starting my career fresh. I've gained some experience.
And referencing to what you're saying is definitely your risk tolerance is much higher when you're young with less commitments in life.
Correct.
And definitely it's much more complicated when you're older with more responsibilities in life.
Yeah.
But what I've learned also, which I would like to share, is that when you're the stage that you're in, which I was, when you have not that much commitment in life, and when I mean commitment in terms of relationships, wife, kids, and things like this to take care of, because of that lack of that, you're able to, your risk tolerance is much higher.
Yeah.
In taking those risks and learning from them and succeeding and failing, because I can assure you, Peter, when you fail, you're going to learn a lot more than when you succeed.
Yeah.
When you succeed, you don't even know exactly how you succeeded. When you fail, you know exactly why you failed.
Yeah.
And not to repeat it or how to do it differently. So, you know, failing is a lesson to be taken and to be learned and to be accepted. It's not a fail in the same way like, oh, you're a failure. No. It's actually the journey you need to go to succeed.
Yeah.
And what happens is that as you get older and you become more responsible in life, be it with having a family, because you've had so much experience in risk, you're able to take better risks. You're able to take risks that are calculated. So yes, you have kids and you have a wife and you have a responsibility and you have a mortgage.
Yeah, you're not as reckless.
I'm not as reckless.
Yes.
And the reason I'm not as reckless is not because because I've done so much when I was younger.
Yeah.
When I didn't have that commitment, is that now I'm able, till today, I'm opening up businesses every year. Every year I'm opening up some kind of a business.
Yeah.
But it's different than how I used to do it before.
Yeah.
So the risk it adjusts. It's not like your risk tolerance changes.
Or it comes with experience too, right?
Comes with experience.
Because it's all about due diligence. You know, at my father's age, why is he who he is? Because he's experienced, right? You have all those years under your belt. So you, instead of being reckless because of my age and lack of responsibility, as you'd say, I can make, I wouldn't say dumber decisions, but you have more leeway to make certain decisions that maybe if I was older I wouldn't take.
How do you define success in your opinion?
Success to me is something that's sustainable, okay? Because you can have success for a day, for a month. You know, I like to watch a lot of podcasts similar to what you do, and all these successful people say, you know, let me ask you a question. Can your company run with you not being there? And then if he says no or yes, then he asks you, can your company grow without you being there? And I really liked that, you know, and I used to always tell myself and what I'm trying to do, because I was so rushed in the beginning setting up the business, I forgot to do a certain structure and procedures. And I think as I'm calmed now and more mature and experienced, I'm starting to understand that my business, if it can't operate while I'm there and it's not making me money while I'm there or not there, I'm not successful. Right. Because you have to enjoy life too. And I think as much as I haven't traveled, you know, I'm a bit of a hypocrite about that, but you need to enjoy life, you know, and I need to be comfortable enough to leave my company to the team that I've put in place, to not lower the quality, to keep consistency.
Peter, thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for talking to us about your experiences.
No, I enjoyed it.
We want to check out Fume.
Yeah, please do.
And KYRO as well. I mean, I've been to KYRO before, but Fume I haven't seen because it's brand new.
Yes.
And we look forward to trying out those tobaccos, those Shisha tobacco that you have, Fumari
and Ottoman blends.
So you're going to be adding more? You think
I'm planning to, but you know, like I said, the tobacco process takes a bit of time.
Right.
But definitely, if any new thing comes in the market, I will add it to the product list. But these are the two best in the market.
And you're going to be, so you have the right distribution rights. You're going to be trying to distribute it also across the border.
So we have the GCC distribution rights. So obviously, First stop was Bahrain, and then we will venture off to neighboring countries.
Good.
Hopefully in the near future.
I look forward to seeing that.
I look forward
Thank you
to
for being
it.
here.
Thank you.
I look forward to your journey. Maybe, in the latter years, you'd be sitting over here talking to somebody else that's
Yeah,
just
maybe.
like you, telling
I
you,
always
I've
wanted
been there, I've done what you've done.
I always wanted a podcast.
There you
channel,
go,
so
there you
maybe-
go, there you go. I'm giving you a first-hand experience in this.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Peter. Thank you so much.